Hi, hello. Uh, let's talk about the exam 3. Dr. Dasgupta has made the questions for us. Since we are not taking the face-to-face class, this time exam 3, we made a little bit of change. The exam style is a little bit different with the exam 1 and exam 2. Let me give you guys a very brief review. First one, we're gonna have 10 questions totally. Total points is 40. Question 1, we're gonna have the 6 true and false questions. And the rest of them, the question 6 is multiple options. And the rest of the questions are output questions, which means we give some of the code. You read the code and run the code in your mind and write out the solutions on the paper. That's it. Okay. Let's move on to give you guys a review about what we need in exam 3. Exam 3, like we mentioned, we would like to cover the chapter 5 and the chapter 6. Let's go to the chapter 5 first. Okay, in chapter 5, we learned the while loop. Okay, we also learned the do while. Okay, make sure you understand what's the difference between the while loop and the do while. And you have to make sure you can write out the output of a program without really running it in the IDE. Okay, suppose you can use my exercise code to practice. Okay, suppose you have this code. Could you please write out the solutions? Okay, that's it. Make sure you understand what's the scope. Okay, once we define a scope, once we define a variable, this variable, its scope is from the point we define this variable to the end of this function. Okay. Check, make sure you understand how break and continue works. Nested while loop, for loop. Okay, make sure you totally understand how this for loop works, because for loop is a little bit different with the while loop. We have the initial value, this sentence, then logical expression and increment. Okay, make sure you understand how this loop works. Okay, here, make sure you understand what's the scope. And make sure you understand how to use the nested for loop, do something more complicated. Okay, make sure you can use my exercise questions to practice. Remember, at the end of this slides, I give you guys the solutions for all the exercise questions. If you click in, you can see all the solutions have been posted here. Okay. Let's move on to chapter 6. Okay, that's good. In chapter 6, we studied how to define methods, or you can call it functions. For each function, we have the return data type and the function name and the parameters. Make sure you understand what time, what situation we're gonna return values. Okay, because sometimes some function never return anything, like void. And what's the definition of the parameter? What's the scope of those parameters? You can use the exercise questions to practice because like I mentioned, this exam 3, most of the questions we give you partial code. You read the code and output the write down the outputs. So you can use those exercise questions to practice. Make sure you understand all the sample code I gave to you guys. Okay. The void means we don't return anything. Let me scroll down. Make sure you understand how the immutable parameter works. Check this code. I give you guys the sample code. Make sure you understand this code. Overload method. Oh, let me scroll down. Scroll up a little. Make sure you understand why this code works. Because these two variables, even they have the same name, but they are in the different blocks. So this is legal. You can run this program and print out the solution. Okay. Now let's scroll down. Make sure you understand what's the meaning of overloading methods. One more thing I want to mention is, okay, about the overloading function. If I have the two functions which have the identical function names, plus the functions signature are identical, you can check what's the definition of the function signatures. Okay, if their signatures are identical, what happened if I call the functions at this time? Actually, it's called ambiguous invocation. The program will crash because the Java virtual machine does not able to distinguish these two functions if the two functions have the identical signatures, identical function signatures. Because the JVM will take both as same. They don't know which one supposed to call. Same thing, I also posted the solution at the end of this chapter. You can check the solutions if you need it. And make sure this weekend use some time to practice how to write code. It's quite different with the exam 1 and exam 2, because this is more like a open book exam, because we don't monitor your exams, and the whole exam, you roughly have the whole day to take the exam. So the exam style is a little bit different. Most of them are coding. We don't need you to really write the code line by line, but we need you guys to understand code and output the outputs of the programs. So it's supposed to be a little bit easier than exam 1 and exam 2. Hope you guys can have a good score. Okay, that's it. Thank you.